Okay, that's it. I decided now I'm going to, you know, I've been threatening to open this Vanhunks of mine for probably about 2 months now, and now I decided let's do it, car or whatever, eh? All right, so the thing about the Vanhunks Shad is that it did not come in this what they call the river rock color. It only came in that other 3 colors, but now they eventually brought out the first assignment only had 4 of these river rock colors, and I bought 3 of them. So one of them is obviously for my personal use, and then this specific one is for my son, but this one I'm keeping as the sponsored kayak by Feel Good Fishing for the Limpopo Small Crafts League. Okay, so as you can see now, this kayak consists of 3 colors mixed up. So it's definitely more of an earthy look than those blue ones, you know. So yeah, beautiful. It's nice dark blue here in front, and then it goes over to this earthy color, like a green, dirty green type of look. And then here at the back is gray. The only concern or complaint I would have is that I would have liked to see these colors blend in a bit more, you know. See, like this unique flames it makes. I would have liked to see that blended in more. So I'm saying that with the hope that the guys that order these things, the Vanhunks guys, will make a plan and ask the guys that makes the molds to maybe mix those stuff a little bit more, so that you can have more of a unique flamey look, and that will give I don't know, it will just make it nicer, I think. Anyway, so here it is, the new shad look kayak, and that is in the what is called the river rock color. So like always, you get your aluminium seat, you get your paddles, adjustable paddles with it, you get your toolbox here in the middle, and inside your toolbox you get your little book. There's your registration number and all the stuff that it went through to check it for quality and so on. And there's the little handle that goes there. We'll add it on, put it on there now. Then you've got this cool new rod holder, you know, comes in here with like a Scotty mount type of thing, which is quite cool. I'm going to go into that at the moment. Yeah, there's your nice aluminium seat, beautiful, very, very light. You can't believe how lightweight these things are. There's your seat with the straps, the adjustable side straps that you can change the height of your seat on the side. Okay, so now immediately this looks different than mine because I've done some modifications on my kayak, and we'll get to that in the next video. Okay, to assemble the rudder is very, very, very easy. Okay, just remove those bungee straps out of your way for a moment, just to give yourself some space to work. So here is your rudder system. Okay, you've got your little pin here. Just take your pin out. Right, so you drop it in there. At the bottom, you just put your little pin in. Right, not going anywhere. Right, so this is the pop-up action. There's a spring inside here that makes sure the rudder will stay down, and when you hit a rock or something, it pops up. Okay, there's your protection mechanism there. So the pike video has got a lot of detail of how to do this whole setup here. You can watch the pike video. So how this thing works, it's got a little bar over there, you see, and that bar, once you've pushed this thing in here and you screw it down, that little bar lifts up and it lies right into that groove, and then you can go on from there. Because at this stage it's not attaching, but once you screw it in, it pulls up that little bar into the groove, and that basically activates the rotating action. Right, so once you've done that, your cables will immediately start responding here at the back, you see. If I pull the cables, it responds there, and vice versa, obviously. Okay, so now, just to attach your steering mechanism, remember you've got the option, you've got the option of doing it with your foot pedal, or you can use your hand steering mechanism that you've got there. Okay, so I will never use my foot mechanism because I need my feet for the pedal drive or the fin drive. Okay, and just like that, your rudder is connected and your steering mechanism is connected. Okay, there it is. Left, right, easy peasy. Okay, as I say, for a more detailed explanation, you can look at the Pike video. Now I want to just give you a walk through the Shad. Okay, now the Shad, as I said, I think is the best option when it comes to bass fishing. What are the reasons for it? Now the number one reason I need to mention first is if you look at the vertical dimension of the Shad. Okay, this is, I think, about, what is it, 34 centimeters high. Right, so what that means immediately is you get more buoyancy because you've got a greater volume that has to be pushed down into the water. Therefore your upward forces are more, and for the water to come from down there over here is just about impossible. I mean, the water level usually runs, in my case, down here on that line. So you've got very far to go. Now some of the other ones do not have that type of vertical height, okay? Like the Mahi, for example, is much lower than this, and you would get the Mahi's buoyancy is compensated there because the water can come in much easier. All right, then the Zambezi, I think, is also lower than this. That's reason number one. The next reason is the design of the hull. So if I can just show you here, the design of the hull is almost like a catamaran, you know. So it's got these two tubes at the bottom. Now what that does is basically holds onto the water inside these tubes a little bit more than a normal flat bottom thing or kayak would do. So that improves the stability, and you could see this center fin that he's got. I mean, all that helps with the planing of your kayak as well. It helps to keep the nose straight and prevent the kayak from going in whichever direction you don't want it to go. You want it to go straight unless you tell it to turn, and that's where that helps a lot. So it is the vertical height, and it is a hull design that really helps this kayak to have better buoyancy, and it keeps its direction much better than a lot of the other kayaks. So the third thing is, if you look at the general design of the kayak, okay, it's very wide and it keeps its width all the way to the front, and only here right at the end the nose turns in. Okay, a lot of the other kayaks will start thinning out at this point already, and your nose will get thinner and thinner and longer. So the Pro Angler, for example, is much longer but thinner, you know. So it's almost impractical to have this long nose which is quite thin, and you can't really use it for something, and you're so far away from it. When you're on a kayak, you have to travel all the way there to get to whatever is at the end of the nose. But with the Vanhunks, the width is running all the way almost to the front of the boat. Okay, so you see, so it's very wide here in front still, and the other ones are quite thin. So, well, that's one of the reasons why the stability is still good. So that's the front side, but the back side even more. The Vanhunks keeps its width. You see how wide it is here at the back, but you would find like the Zambezi and the Pro Angler and all, many of those, they would start shallowing or thinning out here at the back, so you're losing your buoyancy value here. So I don't know why they did that, because this is what you want. You want space at the back, and you want buoyancy, and you want width to help you with your stability. So that's another very good reason why I think the Shad is the one to go for. Okay, another reason is these 6 holes built-in screw mounts here at the back. So if you want to in the future put on an electric motor at the back, you already have the mounts here. So that is something to keep in mind. And then in front, you've got a nice flat surface here to design something on if you want to mount your electric motor in front. So I did all those things on my personal kayak, and I will show you that on the next video. So here in front, it's a great spot to put your electric motor. Okay. And then another reason why this one is better than many of the others, don't want to discriminate against any of them, is your mounting rails for your seat. Okay, you see how far these mounting rails run. So that means you can adjust your seat from a far position to the back all the way to the front. If you've got shorter legs, or you want to get ready for a child, you can go all the way to the front because of this nice mounting rails. Alright, so some of the other kayaks has some kind of construction here that limit you in your moving around of the kayak and so on. And the other reason is that because you're running on two flat rails, your modifications of the height of the seat is very, very easy, because you're working on a flat surface, which is the same with the back and the front. And basically to lift your seat to something like that, whereas my kayak's height is about, seat height is about that height. I think I lifted it about 20 centimeters, yeah, or 17 or 20 centimeters. That gives you ample space for doing whatever you want underneath the kayak. All right. Then you've got your normal mounting rails here for your Scotty rails or your fish finder or whatever. And talking about fish finder, this center scupper plug, if you pull that out, that goes into your fish finder transducer chamber here on the inside. As you can see, that's your lid. I don't know if you can see in the darkness here, but there is a video, I did put a video out of how to mount your transducer in that chamber. It's very, very easy, where there's mounting screws down there, everything you need to make your life easier. So this is your front hatch, totally waterproof. Whatever water falls here runs down this groove and out of the way. Okay, so it can be a rainy day and your stuff stays dry in there. I put my raincoat and my other dry clothes and some other extra stuffies I put in here. It almost permanently stays in there. Okay, so here's your front handle, which is also beneficial for your mounting of your front motor once you get to that point, because if you screw this down, you'll see there's two screw mounts in here, and you can use that attachment, as I will show you in the future video, of how to put your mounting plate on here for your electric motor that comes in the front. And that is about it. What else is there to think about to show you here? Okay, yes, I can tell you about this mounts. As I will show you on my personal kayak that I use, this 3 bolts here and 3 bolts on that side you can use for quite a few things. Some people attach a bar over here and then you put your electric motor on that bar, so you can side control it here. So it's mount here and you can control it with your hand here next to you, because remember your seat is about here, not right close to the electric motor. The other option is what I use it for is I put my wheels, my trolley wheels that my cart wheels mount onto these 2 attachments, and I'll show you that in the next video on my personal kayak. So that works very nicely because it comes down here, your wheels are running here, and you can just wheelbarrow your kayak to wherever you want to be. Now the other thing just to mention as well is, if you look at the Zambezi for example, the Zambezi doesn't have this hatch. Now why they took that off, I don't understand that, but it does have this cavity here, but it has a strap that lies over here with like a trampoline covering, tarpaulin covering thing, which is not waterproof at all. So you can only put stuff and strap them down on that thing. So it doesn't even have, the Zambezi does not have this very, very practical dry chamber here in front. So yeah, that is kind of strange that they removed that. Yeah, so the Pro Angler's got a couple of extra boxes and things here in front, which is, yeah, I don't know. I just don't see a very practical value in that. So the length of this kayak is like 10 feet, okay, 10.4. 10.4, that's a little bit more than 3 meters, which is perfect for me as a 54-year-old man to handle this kayak and put it onto the roof of my roof carrier without any problems, as you've probably seen many times in my videos. Okay. Then obviously also the ability of the shad to be used in multiple different ways. I'll show you that quickly. Remove your tool pod, and you can do quite a lot of modifications with the tool pod itself as well, which is I will also show you later. Then you get two options for the self-propel action of the Vanhunks, and that is your fin drive or the prop drive. So here is the mount for your fin drive. Fits into the space where your tool pod just came out. To put your fin drive in is very easily. It basically just slides into your space here, clicks down in position, you lift your side, locks up, and there it is. It's in position. So what is nice about the fin drive, you can actually adjust the position of your fins, of your pedals. You can bring closer to you. You see, so mine's quite far away at the moment. I'm here on position 2. But all you do is you pull this little thing here, and then you can move them forward or closer or further away from you. See, now there's number 4 position. Okay, very easily adjustable. So basically how this works, that's the whole action. Okay, that's all it does. That small movements makes your fins go mad here at the bottom. All right. So yeah, it's like this windpomp blades. Okay, the disadvantage of this is you can only go forward. With the fin drives, you cannot reverse. It's not like the Mirage 180 or the Mirage 360 of the Hobie. So although this is designed upon the Hobie, actually a Hobie can fit in here, by the way. So if you do have a Hobie drive, you can pop it in here. It's just a small modification. Something has to be filed down and it slides in perfect. All right, so that is your fin drive option. Alright, so the other option is your prop drive. See, this thing has been used, and it is being used, so excuse how dirty it is at the moment. So yeah, this thing pops in here so easily. You strap it down with these knobbies, just like that, and like that. Alright, so this is how it works. Basically, goes into that little mechanism there, flip it down, tighten it down, and that's it. Now this removable little bucket fits in here. So yeah, the purpose of that is, okay, obviously this is your outside position. So how do you get this thing in here? You remove that little bucket thing, and your prop must be turned downwards, slides into that gap there, and that thing is back there in position. And there you go. As easy as that. The big advantage of the prop drive is reverse, easily reverse, okay? And I think it's just more smooth on your knees as well, you know? It's like if you're a cyclist, this is going to be so natural for you. That's it. So once you get to a place where it's shallow and you want to go, you know, where the bass is, because it's winter and they want the shallow water, all you do is remove your little bucket thing, it slides up, lift up your bucket, put it in position, and there you go. You can go into the shallows with your oar and do whatever you want. And once again, when you go deeper waters, drop it down, takes you 2 seconds, and there you go again. Now this thing is, yeah, it is a bit of money, you know. I think this costs about 11,000 here in South Africa, but this changes the whole dynamics, because can you imagine having your hands free to fish, and you can go wherever you want because you're doing it with your legs, and you're turning with the one hand left and right over here. Okay, so yeah, people, that is basically the rundown of how the Vanhunks Shad Kayak looks. If you ever think of buying a 2-seater kayak because you're thinking of taking the family with and all that stuff, but you're a serious fisherman, I can tell you now, just don't do it, okay? Do not buy yourself one of those, because you are going to frustrate yourself, because 2 guys in 1 kayak catching fish, is rods going around, it's just asking for trouble. And obviously a 2-seater one is long, and it's a little bit more difficult to handle it, actually a lot more difficult to handle it concerning the transport and all that type of stuff. So if you're looking for a kayak for fishing, don't go for a double-seater, go for a proper thing that will work for you, because you're the one that's going to use it. And the thing about kayak fishing is obviously also, in my view, you want to be alone on the water, you want the quietness, you want to be close to nature. You don't want to have somebody with you all the time. But if you really want to take somebody with, you can put another seat here at the back or a nice big pillow, and somebody can sit here. My son and his girlfriend's been doing that has done that many times in the past, and 2 teenage kids can sit on this very easily. I mean, the carrying capacity of this is, I think, 200 kilograms. I weigh about 90, so you still have about 110 k's worth of loading that you can do on this kayak. So and this is where you put your milk crate with your rods and all your modifications you can do here, which I will show you on the next video. So if you liked what you've seen, you learned something, please put a like there and leave a little comment, ask a question or whatever. If you want to call me in South Africa, welcome to call me. It's 084 240 3457, and you can ask me any questions you want. All right, so yeah, that is my quick run through the Shad fishing kayak by Vanhunks, the 10.4 foot Shad in the new color, which is called the River Rock. So yeah, I like the River Rock, definitely like the River Rock look. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and tell your friends that they must come and join you. You're always welcome to come and join us here. We've got a small crafts bass league, which is any craft that is driven by an electric motor shorter than 4.2 meters. So as if you've seen on my videos, it's really fun to be out on the water in one of these things. So if you're considering doing something like that, absolutely the Vanhunks Shad, to my opinion, is the best one to go for. So thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you on the water very soon on your own Vanhunks Shad.